Good afternoon. Once again, coming to you live from the driver's seat. And today's post is about telling the truth. Now, I know you've heard people say fake it till you make it, but I prefer fix it so you can kick it. Now, what do I mean? I mean that in order to make real progress, you have to tell the truth. Now, as I sit here before you, I'm not sitting here trying to be perfect or pretend like I'm perfect. A lot of the things that I talk about are things that I've really gone through and learned and bumped my head to get. These are not things that, I'm just throwing out there that I have no knowledge about. So today, we're going to talk about keeping it real so that you can get real results. Because the only way for you to really get the results that you need is to be honest and reflective. Now, honesty is going to help you get where you're going. Because now you can start looking at yourself a little more critically and saying, am I really doing enough to get the things that I want? And reflectiveness will tell you why you didn't make it the last time. Because no matter who you are, you have to pass the tests in order to get to the next level. What do I mean? I mean that you could say that I'm a forgiver, I have a forgiving heart, I've forgiven. And most people will believe you. But what happens when you get put in that situation again? What happens when that test comes up again and that very person that you say you've forgiven does something? What do? Do you start bringing up old stuff? Do you start going back to that place and that anger and those feelings that you had? Or are you able to let it go? Are you able to bless that person in spite of what they did to you? Or are you still holding on to those old feelings? Because see, what will happen is you'll ask God for something and then you'll get it. But if you have not resolved those issues, you'll lose it. You could say, God, send me a husband. But if you have not resolved the issues from your past relationships, both things that people did to you and things that you believe and think yourself, how can you really treat that blessing that God has given you in the form of a man the way you should? Fellas, you want to get to the next level, but you don't want to put in the work. I hear people all the time talking about, I don't want to work for that amount of money. That's not enough money for me. I need to be making this. I need to be making that. But if you're really honest with yourself, what is your work really worth? Is it worth the dollars that you want or not? Because if you're always late and your work's always late and it's always piss poor, then are you really worthy of the promotion? Have you really been faithful over the area that you're in right now? See, it's easy to say with your mouth that I'm blessed and highly favored. But it's another thing to live out the word, to live out these things that you say you believe. And realistically, that's what people are looking for. They're looking for the power of God working within you. They're looking for your work ethic. They're looking for your peace. They're looking for your joy. They're looking for your prosperity. And you can't just say it with your mouth. Because what will happen is they'll start testing you. The people will. Not God. The people will start testing you. Well, let's see. And then if you fail, then they're going to hit you with the, she's supposed to be saved. Then when you fail, well, I guess that's just how church folk is. But the reality is, just tell God, there are areas that I need to work on. Please help me. Please send me mentors. Please send me people who have conquered and mastered these things so that I can learn from them strategies and techniques so that I can prosper, so that I can be whole, so that I can do your will. Because just saying it is not enough. Just saying I'm good is not enough. Actually being good is what you need. Because until you get these things under control, you will not get where you're trying to go. You could say all day long, I want a house. If you don't stack your paper and fix your credit, that ain't never gonna happen. And even if it does happen, you won't have the things necessary to sustain it, to feed it, to grow it. So if you want to get off the level you're on and you want to get on the level that you think in your heart and your mind you're supposed to be on, become the person. You hear me every day say, become the person that gets the stuff. But in order to become the person that gets the stuff, just like when people go to those addicts meetings, they must first admit that they're addicted. You must first admit, I need help. I've reached my level of competence. I can't do it alone. I need Jesus. I need his teaching. I need mentors. I need a counsel. But what'll happen is most people just walk around going, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm all right, but not bearing any fruit. And it's easy to not bear fruit when you don't keep score. But when you start keeping score, then you'll start noticing that I am not really making any progress. And what's the quickest way to have a hurt heart or a depressed feeling is to not make any progress. Most people are looking at two things. They're looking at the progress they make and whether or not what they see in their head matches what's in their life. Because you think that you're supposed to be at a certain place by now and you're not there, so now you feel bad. Well, by now I thought I would have been, director. By now I thought I would have had my PhD. By now I thought I would have had a husband. By now I thought, but you have to be honest and say, have I really put in the work to get those things? There goes the reflective part. There goes the honest part. Having a sober mind so that you can really look at yourself critically and say, I need to put in some work. And to have the courage to actually put the work in. Because see, if you do it, it'll get done. If you have the faith to start it, God will help you perfect it and finish it. But you cannot quit. And you cannot keep lying to yourself and thinking that people can't see it. You can tell people you're going to the gym all day. But eventually somebody's going to actually want you to do something that requires strength. And if you ain't got the strength, they're going to look at you like, you sure you've been going to the gym? Because you ain't really making no progress. You don't seem to be losing no weight. You don't seem to be developing no muscle. Kind of like when people say they saved, and then people start looking at them going, you don't really seem to have no peace. You don't really seem to have no joy. I don't see no love in your heart. Matter of fact, you seem kind of hateful. So, again, if you have not perfected these things, be honest with yourself, people, and get help. Because once you get the help and once you perfect these things, then you can move on to something else. But if we still messing around with this baby milk, how we going to get to the meat? How we ever going to dominate? How we going to take it to the next level and do what God has really called us to do? Time to stop crawling and start running. And until you see me again, just get started.